Recording starts. हाँ, so this will be a public video finally. जैसे हम स्वस्थ संघ में करते हैं, तो ये public video होगा बाद में. We'll make it open to everybody क्योंकि alumni group सब जगह share हो ही जाएगा जिसको भी देखें.
हाँ भी कहना तुम्हारे लिए शेयर
Okay,
करना है.
चलो, let's start. We'll start and we'll start this session on meditation and introduction. And before we get to the prayer, ये picture देख लीजिए जरा एक बार. थोड़ा meditation से थोड़ा अलग व्यू और इसी पिक्चर को समझने की कोशिश करेंगे साथ में. What meditation is, because that reflects at least one version of what meditation is or can be. So we'll start with our prayer. So sit comfortably. If you are on a chair, let your feet be comfortably on the ground. Your back supported. Gently close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath for a couple of rounds. And you can repeat after me. Om Sahana Vavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karvavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly taking your time, come back to the room and welcome everybody to this session on an introduction to meditation. Hi Pranali, good to see you. So we'll start. So basically, I thought these are the 4 questions. If there are more questions, let me know. We'll try and answer these questions. So why should I meditate first? I think everyone probably here has some reason, but just to give some perspective on why it is important to meditate and meditate daily, because that's the goal, at least my intention, that people start doing this. Then we'll get into what is meditation, sort of perspectives on that, how it is, different views, different definitions, what are some of the different techniques of meditation, how are they different, and then how to practice finally. And we'll do a short practice towards the end. Yeah, so these are the 4 questions. If there are any other questions as you're coming, it's good to just name it, so I'll see where to fit in, and if try and find the appropriate place to also answer that. Or koi questions, anybody, any other thoughts, or fairly okay with these?
Sandeep, maybe one question, if I may add, like
हाँ,
best times to do meditation, or how to make it easy to do
correct.
meditation, like
हाँ, वो practice में आ जाएगा. Yes, we should answer
okay.
that, how to practice, the practicalities of actually doing it daily. Na? उसमें we'll get in, we can discuss that definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Yes, any other question? Okay, good. So let's get going. Why should I meditate? So चलो थोड़ा thought exercise करते हैं. Let's see. So what is this? Please unmute. थोड़ा ये interactive है. These couple of slides. हाँ. Unmute and say it out. What do you see? Sita went on. Brushing. Yes, brushing. So what is the purpose of this activity? क्यों करते हैं brush? We do it daily, ना? हाँ, sorry.
Dental hygiene.
Dental hygiene, oral hygiene, keep our teeth clean, right? And if we keep our teeth clean, if I do it regularly, what do I get? What are some things that you can name that you can get by doing it regularly?
Feel good.
Feel good, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Fresh लगता है सुबह, yes. Once we do. Okay. Others?
Have teeth till I die.
Sorry?
Have teeth till I die.
Have teeth till I die. Yeah. And what will that happen if you have teeth till you die?
I can nourish myself. I can keep
nice.
healthy.
Yeah. Stay healthy, eat food, chew with ease, good digestion, right? All of this will happen if we have good teeth and also a good smile, right? That's equally important. But at dentistry, there is this whole sub part when we used to run the dental centers called smile design. So there were dentists who specialized in smile design. So smile is a very important part of our social interaction, even from neuroscience perspective, also very, very important. So that's one. So now what is this? Something? Shower, nahana. Kamal auntie, I can't hear you. Kuch audio mein hai. I don't know. I can't. Your audio is not coming. I can see you moving your lips, but I can't hear. Are others able to hear? Kamal auntie, anybody?
Yeah.
So just check your mic. Nahi aa rahi awaaz. Okay. So what is the purpose of this activity again?
Infection. I was talking about infection.
Infections. That is what will happen if we don't do it. Abhi main pooch raha hu just what will happen if I do it regular. The positive side. We'll come to that. So what is this shower, right? And purpose of this? Physical hygiene. Correct? And so ये regularly करने से क्या होगा? Again, similar lines. I'm guessing you're knowing where this is headed, right? So we'll be at ease, again, fresh लगेगा, we'll be protected, and we'll also be attractive.
And you also
We'll be
feel
attractive.
confident.
We'll feel confident, attractive. Yes, many things. Correct? Any others? Okay, so we have Dr. Sandeep, 1+9R has also joined, so do let me know who that is. But meanwhile, yeah, so we will do that. So if I look at both of these, right, what is the common theme? Few common themes, at least I thought, which came up. One was there will be physical ease, either in our, right, there will be ease in our physical body, in our mouth, in our teeth. We will have physical health, right, be it with good digestion for long life, as Deepika was saying, and we'll physically attract others or be physically attractive in general. Correct? Either through our good smile or being attractive, being confident, that is also there. Right? So on similar lines, if I say now, this is meditation. Right? And the purpose of this activity, why should I do meditation daily, is very simple. It's same as this, which is to keep our mind clean. Mental hygiene. Very simple. We will come to all those fancy things that meditation can give us, all the spiritual side. But to me personally, this has been the most important aspect of this. Very simple. Just like we do brush, we bathe every day. When we don't do, we'll come to what happens. But very simply, it just is about mental hygiene. So what will it give? If I do this regularly, it will give me mental ease. It will give me. So some examples of mental ease. What would you define as mental ease? Because this is very subjective. So others, what would be mental?
Declutter.
Declutter, yeah. Okay. Other words, what is mental ease?
Able to respond rather than react.
Yeah, able to respond rather than react. Yeah, Sita?
Calmness, I said.
Calmness, okay. Yeah.
Slowness.
Slowness, calmness. Yes.
Clarity of thought.
Clarity, good.
Know the emotions, exactly.
Know the emotions, more awareness, yeah, about what's the state is. Yes. Sanjeev?
Yeah, being in present, like not worrying about past, future.
Yes. Chinta chhod denge. We'll be in present. Yes. Yeah. So all
I think
these
we become more skilled in thought catching.
more skilled in thought catching. So I love this skill. We'll develop certain skills also. Yes, in that process. So there will be mental ease. These are some words I put ... which I thought quietness, calmness, peace, as some of you said. Then mental health. What does mental health mean? What will happen in mental health?
Like
Peace
again,
and
like anxiety, getting rid of anxiety issues.
So when anxiety is not there, what is there? I'm asking.
Calm, peace,
Peace. Okay. Yeah, Madhuri.
Joy.
Joy. Yes.
joy. Yeah.
Joy. Yes. Joy. So we are so used to anxiety. Na? We know anxiety nahi hoga is good, but hoga kya? Jab anxiety nahi hoga to. What will be that? What will that be like? Yes. Pranali?
Happiness, contentment.
Yeah. Happiness, joy, contentment. Yeah. Somebody had said clarity before. Sorry, I put it here. Clarity, confidence. All this will happen. And will also be mentally attractive to others. What would that be like? What is being mentally attractive to others?
I think
How will we
being
see that in
present.
people?
Being
be
present.
Yeah, will be present. Yes.
Comfort,
Others,
giving comfort.
Giving comfort. Yeah. Yes, Sanjeev.
Worth befriending.
Worth befriending. Yeah. The people will be attracted. They would want to be our friends. Yes. Good.
Respect.
Respect.
From others, yeah, and do respect of others.
Yeah. Respect from others will get automatically. Those things will happen. What we crave for will happen. We'll become that way, right? Automatically. You don't have to do anything. When this happens, that will happen. Good. Other thoughts? Gopesh, you had unmuted. You wanted to add something?
it got covered.
Okay.
I say mind is the most powerful thing in our body. The whole body is under its control. So once mental ease or mental health is good, the whole body will be healthy.
Body will also be healthy, yes.
I personally feel that what others will think about me, it's more important for me. What will be, how will it be good for me and myself?
Yeah, good. Yes. Pushkar, you were saying something, you had unmuted.
I think will be better in conversation. So
Better in conversations. Yeah.
to become mentally attractive.
You'll be mentally attracted. Yes.
And also, I think there will be alignment. So if your mental health, if we have good mental health, we have good alignment with our body, we have good alignment with our intellect and the spirit also. So I think there's alignment in all the 4 dimensions.
Yeah. Will be good alignment. Yes, Dr. Sandeep.
नहीं कह सकता अभी सर
कोई आपको मैं म्यूट पे कर रहा हूँ, बैकग्राउंड काफी नॉइज आ रहा है, इसीलिए मैंने आपको म्यूट रखा है। तो जब भी बोलना है आप अनम्यूट करना। हाँ डॉक्टर संदीप, बैकग्राउंड में काफी नॉइज है, मैं म्यूट पे रख रहा हूँ, जब भी आपको बोलना है अनम्यूट कर। ठीक, थैंक यू। ओके, गुड। या सो सम थिंग्स आई थॉट वाज कनेक्शन, एम्पैथी, लव, be in connection, become friend. Like you said, people will want to befriend us, will get respect, all those things will happen, and all of that you said. So this ... is very important. I just put down a few things that I could think of. Good. So this is all what just daily meditation can actually get us. It's a hygiene to start with, just hygiene, just like we brush our teeth every day. I hope here everybody brushes their teeth at least once a day, right? And if somebody doesn't, I don't think he'll feel ashamed to say it. That's how meditation should become. Right? We should be like that. And similarly, why? Like some people were saying, Kamal aunty was saying, what will we, if we just do this, just extend it, what will happen if I don't do it daily? So one day I don't do my brushing, what happens that same day? One day also if I don't do, what will happen? To our teeth, just staying with the oral, what will happen?
I feel stinky.
You will feel stinky. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I myself will feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'll feel uncomfortable myself. Yeah. Sorry, yes, Pranali?
Not fresh.
Not fresh. Yes.
Like one difference I have observed in a person who is not doing meditation is they tend to talk very fast. There is so much of clutter of thoughts that they are more impulsive and very reactive. As compared to people who are more mindful or meditative, they are far more. So in that sense, what will happen if I don't do it daily is it is going to disrupt your clarity. It's going to bring about more of a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. So many, like, yeah, not being able to differentiate between an observation and probably an interpretation and so many other things. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, with meditation, that will happen with teeth, long-term toothache, cavities, and short-term bad breath, right? Simple. We will not feel fresh, but there will be bad breath. As simple as that. And same with when we don't bathe. If we don't bathe a day, body odor will come, itching will come, infection will come. All this will happen. So some will happen immediately, some will happen over time when we don't do it. Because that's the nature, right? That's the law of nature. That if we don't clean something regularly, which is there in nature, if we are not cleaning it, that Soch, the principle of Soch from Yoga Sutras, it will decay. There is a natural decaying process there, right? There is so much happening. We are interacting so much with the external world. Why do we brush our teeth? Why do we bathe every day? Because some dirt must have gotten stuck, right? That's the belief. We want to remove that. We don't want it to accumulate. That's the basic principle. We do it daily. That same principle applies to our mind also. We are interacting so much with people, with content now, with so much that's going on all around us. So that dirt will get stuck and it will start the decay process. It's just the law of nature, just like it's happening with our body. And over longer term, it causes physical pain, suffering, physical disease. Physically, we start repelling others, right? Very simple. Bad breath, body odor means people don't want to come close to you, don't want to be there. Just socially not acceptable and so important. Social beings, we are social animals. So it's so important, that aspect also. So that's the same thing that will happen here if you don't do this daily. There will be some form of mental pain, mental suffering, some form of mental disease eventually, and we'll start repelling others. People will not start being want to be around us. Like in opposite, if we do it, people will want to befriend us. But automatically this starts happening. Only few people will stay. That's why we say birds of the same feather flock together. All those kinds of things happen. So these question marks I have put, like you can fill in. I like what Sita was saying, right? If you don't do it daily, there will be clutter. There will be fast talk. There will be lack of clarity there itself. There will be anger. There will be reaction. Like Deepika was saying, I'll respond instead of react. So all that will start happening, or that is happening because of that. And this is what this brings in control. And science now, I am presenting this picture. It's a very simple. There are multiple now research papers which are showing this, that even very short durations, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks of regular 20 minutes of meditation can start reducing our reactivity, can start making us more responsive, not reactive. Just 20 minutes every day. For 2-3 weeks, it's quite fast. It doesn't take long. Long-term meditators, that's different. We'll see what that, we will not see it also. That's a very different game and we'll see where that goes. That research has also been happening. It's another fantastic area. But we'll see what that means also to some extent if you want to get there. But does this make sense? Why we should do it daily? Why should I do it daily? Sometimes it will not feel. So people who have been doing it may start with, अरे क्या बोर हो रहा है, चलो छोड़ो यार. तो सोचना उस दिन आज मैं ब्रश करना छोड़ रहा हूँ, आज मैं नहाना छोड़ रहा हूँ क्या, तो ये भी छोड़ू क्या. It's as much as equivalent. If you just start thinking like that, and people who brush twice daily, it's so wonderful. You can do meditation twice daily. It will only make it better, shinier. It will make you more attractive. Maybe ready for a close-up ad also. Model. Yeah. So that's very simple. Any questions, comments on this? Why to do it daily? Before we get on to what it is now, we'll do that, what it really means, because there is a lot of, I think, confusion around that also. So we'll try and clarify that, or a lot of clutter, at least around the meditation space. At least simplify it, organize it, so we can understand it. Yeah. Okay. Everyone can do daily. So those who brush daily should meditate daily. That's the simple mantra. Yes. Good. Okay. So now let's see what is this meditation all about. So I'll start with the pure, like from the Yoga Sutra definition. So we get that theory. So we anchor ourselves in the tradition and then link it with the current, the modern context. Okay, because that's what we do, right? We take what is our tradition and look at it in the modern context, right? So what does the tradition say? So this tradition actually is in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, chapter 3, first 3 verses. So it's very important. That's why, but there are only 3 verses primarily to define it. So the first one says, Desh Bandha Chittasya Dharana. So it defines the entire meditation, at least my understanding, is a 3-step process, 3 processes. So first is Dharana. So what is Dharana? Desh Bandha Chittasya means Dharana is holding the mind, Chitta, my mind objects to one object, place or point. Desh Bandha. Desh is not country here. Desh means a region, a location, a point. So I'm binding my mind, my mental activity to one point. That is the start. That is Dharana. Okay, so Desh Bandha Chittasya Dharana. That is the first sutra. Very simple. Second is Tatra Pratyay Ekatanata Dhyanam. So they guess next stage is Dhyanam or Dhyan. So what is Dhyan? Tatra, then. This, as I hold this object, Pratyay Ekatanata. Ekatanata. There is one pointed, effortless awareness of that object. Pratyay means that object. So where I have bound my chitta to, on that object, I have one pointed, effortless awareness. So what does that mean? Initially, when I put dharana, there is effort. Because my mind is scattered. Mind will go to 1,000 places. I have to keep bringing it back. Try and bring it to one thing. Whatever that one object is, you'll keep bringing it back to that one thing. And over time, as I keep doing it, I will reach the stage of dhyanam, where this one pointed awareness becomes effortless. Right? So it is not that I can make it effortless. It will become effortless. I can't force it. It's like a journey. I start from Bombay to Delhi. I have to cross Surat. Surat will come when it will come. I can't go to Surat when I want to go to Surat. This effortless, it won't become effortless. It will only become effortless after effort. When I place my mind, I practice that. Okay, my mind gets distracted, I'll bring it back. My mind got distracted, I'll bring it back. That is the nature of the mind. It will get distracted. Whenever you will sit for any meditation, it will get distracted. You won't be able to stay with the one object initially. Bring it back. It goes, bring it back. Goes, bring it back. Goes, bring it back. If it goes 1,000 times, bring it back 1,000 times. That's it. And with that, slowly, this effort will become effortless. And one example, for example, one can take is, even if you take, I'm taking a simpler example. Now this bottle of water is about 1 liter, so 1 kg. So to pick it up, initially it took some effort. Now if this was 10 kg, it would have taken more effort. But if I keep holding it, or if it goes down, I build it up. It goes down, I bring it up. So what am I doing? I'm exercising my muscle, right? So dhire dhire kya hoga? It will become easier. So first time that 10 kg will take longer, but then it will become easier. Then I can hold it also. First it will keep going back because it's too heavy. Then as I keep lifting it up, it will become easier. It will become easier, and then it will stay. Then it will stay. And that is dhyan, when it is able to stay without much effort. When I have built that capacity, this strength, this skill, this muscle. Makes sense? So it won't happen when I want, it will become effortless. Nahi. But is stage ke bina, we can't go to the third stage. That's why this stage is very important to understand. And the third stage is what is glorified, which is often said as the stage of meditation. But meditation to me is a process more than anything else. So the last stage is Tadev, only then. Tadev means only then, only. This is very important. Ev, only then. Arthamatra nirbhasam swarupa shunya iva samadhi. So then only we reach samadhi. Samadhi is that word, right? We all want samadhi. Samadhi is glorified. So, but then only, Tadev, very important, Tadev. Then only then, the essence remains. Only the essence remains. Arthamatra, artha of this object remains. And the form is nullified. It becomes shunya. Arthamatra nirbhasam swarupa. So the only thing I have abhas of is the artha, and the roop becomes shunya. Then it is samadhi. Only then, once we go through this. So we start with concentration, which means we keep bringing back our attention to this particular object, whatever we choose, and we'll come to that, what that means, what is that object, etc. We keep bringing it back. Then that effort becomes effortless. We stay with that. We stay with that awareness effortlessly now. And then at some stage, it will happen again automatically. Delhi will come when it has to come. I can't force, I can't reduce the distance. If I am in Surat, I have to go first to Ahmedabad or Baroda, then to Kota, then only Delhi will come. That route is there. It will come only when it will come. I can't rush it. But I have to stay. It will become effortless. It's like the engine. First, it has to pick up speed. Then it can stay at a steady speed. But that steady speed may also stay for as long as it has to stay. And then I'll reach this state of samadhi. So sam adhi. So literally that word also means sam adhi. Sam means equal. Adhi is our mind. So when our mind becomes equal, one with this object that we have picked up, that is samadhi. So we can summarize that the process, meditation is a process through which we become one with the object of meditation. Whatever object we have chosen, we become one with it. And only the essence remains. The form goes away. So one in that sense, true sense, oneness. Again, it's getting there. But that is so again, putting it in perspective, this is the final glorified goal. First part is mental hygiene. First mental hygiene, then there will be dharana, then there will be dhyan, and then there will be samadhi.
Garam pani isme.
Clear? Stages, steps. This is a very simplified version. In some cases, it's 7 steps, etc. Very detailed ones. But this is, I think, I find it very relatable. Still being very authentic to our sutras, to our tradition. But this is the essence of meditation. And there is so much diversity. And we'll try and understand that diversity. So we see 2 aspects in this. I'll pause after that once I explain the 2 aspects at least. One is that it's a process. And the other is it's about a state through which we reach a certain state. So there is an intention, a goal, a state to be reached, to be one with the object of meditation, but it is also a process. It's very important. This process is equally important. It's about doing it. As soon as it becomes a process, a skill to be cultivated, a skill to be built, then whether it's Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, Roger Federer, or a Buddhist monk, there is only one way, that is practice. And we'll see that, right? The only way we build a skill, we do a process, is by practice. No amount of theory helps beyond the point. So meditation का theory जितना है आज खत्म हो सकता है, इससे ज़्यादा आज होगा नहीं जितना है. You don't need it if you want anything out of meditation. Only thing you have to do is practice it. Any questions, comments till here?
Can you please speak a little bit more on object of meditation? What do you mean by that?
So there is a whole section to that. Definitely. Yes. So object of meditation, but in very simple words, to make it very clear, it could be a form like a deity, an idol. It could be a mantra, or it could be an object like a breath, our breath, a sensation in the body. So it's anything. And in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, it also says it could be the sun, it can be cotton, it can be an elephant. So whatever you will meditate on, you will become one with it and you will get its essence. So for one of the examples it gives in the Yoga Sutras is, if you meditate on cotton, you will get the essence of lightness. and you will be able to experience that lightness in you, and that's where levitation kind of thing happens, just like cotton wool. So you get that kind of thing. If you meditate on sun, you will get the essence of the solar system, for example. So that's like an object of meditation. You can meditate on your breath. You can meditate on a mantra. You will get the essence of the mantra, for example. Yeah. But we'll understand it a little bit more nuanced, like what's the category of these different objects. Any other questions, comments?
So,
Yes, Manish.
yeah, so basically it is very important to choose the object. ऐसा कहीं भी ध्यान लगा दिया, so it is going to affect the property also.
Yes. Yes. You will become one with it. If you meditate on something, you will get its essence. So in that way, you choose the object. One way. Yeah. But remember, the goal finally, it's about a process. It's learning a process. It's learning a skill that you are trying to learn. But there can be an intention. Good. So one way of understanding this oneness principle or becoming one is this picture. This is where Advaita Ashram's book, Meditation and its Techniques, has this as their cover. So I liked it. So this talks though about the state of meditation, the final. It says it's like this constant remembrance of the thing meditated upon, flowing like an unbroken stream of oil poured out from vessel to another. So when you see this, even if it was moving, right? Even if actually the oil was flowing, unless we see the levels here and there, we won't know actually it's flowing. It will seem like a static picture. That's how oil flows. Water is very turbulent. Oil flows because of its viscosity. It flows very smoothly. And if you don't see the levels, actually you won't know it's flowing sometimes. It's just connected, but it is flowing still. So there is that stillness in motion again there. So that's how this state is defined. But what I would prefer to focus on is the process of meditation. And to me, this process of meditation is to be present. And what does that mean? So we can define meditation this way, that meditation is the skill. It's a skill to experience the truth of every moment with compassion and non-attachment. So it's a skill that we learn. So the object of meditation, as Manisha, you were saying, it's only important to the level that we learn this skill. We can apply this skill to then any object. So we should pick the object which is the most easiest to us, because the important thing is to learn the skill. The object is secondary. The primary thing is the skill, to be present in this moment. Because when we are present in this moment, then everything happens. Then the flow of oil happens. We'll get the essence of everything, anything that we pay attention to. We will be one with it. Because we will be one, completely present to that moment, present to that object. That's what being one with it is about. But that is a skill. A state is something not in our control, but a skill is, a process is. I can't reach Delhi now from Bombay just like that physically. But if I follow a process, or I learn the skill to cycle also, someday cycling, taking breaks, I will reach Delhi. Or if I have the skill of walking, of running, I will reach Delhi, I am sure. Right? So if I know a skill, I learn a process, then I can get to that state. So I need to learn this skill of being present or experiencing the truth of every moment. Then I'll become meditative. I'll reach the state of oneness eventually. So these two are equivalent. Yes, Manish.
So maybe later on, the object is not required.
Yes. That's why the object is not that important. And we'll come to that. That's where there is confusion, and also two kinds of meditation fundamentally that we get talked about so much, including the apps, etc. So one way, for me, the image that stood out to experience this was this actually. So it's not about, I intentionally chose, it's not a man sitting in a cross-legged posture that we see for meditation, but it's one individual on a unicycle, on a single rope, above skyscrapers, juggling balls. This is meditation in action. This is the skill. It's in daily life. It's a skill for our daily life, every moment of our life. It's not about 30 minutes, 20 minutes. The 20 minutes of meditation practice that we do, if we do every day, that's finally is like net practice. The real match is happening in the 23 hours and 30 minutes of our life. That's where we want this skill. That's the real skill. We want to cultivate the skill for those 23 hours and 30 minutes. This is net practice. We need the net practice to be able to play that game when that really happens, when life is happening. So see meditation as a skill to be present in a moment, to experience the truth of that moment with compassion and non-attachment. That's vairagya, karuna and vairagya. I'll take a pause here. How is this landing? The next is about how do we build this skill? What are some of the principles of building any skill first? And then how do we build it? But this notion of that meditation is a skill. It's not a state where I have to get to. It's a skill, it's a process, it's a skill, a competency, in fact, that I want to develop and apply in my life every moment. And that practice of 20-30 minutes is net practice, is practice to be able to do it in the rest of the day. How is that sounding for people? Make sense? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you, Deepika, Pranali. Others? Questions, comments?
Sandeep, in some way, then it's kind of, as you said, you were holding the bottle and building muscle. So meditation is kind of building that exceptionally good, extraordinary capability to be in present and then able to do whatever you're doing, right?
Yes. Everything is right. I'll just take out extraordinary, all those adjectives about that capability.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's a capability that's there for us. We don't have to make it that big. We were meant to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
That is our default capability, in fact.
Mm.
Things take us away from. There are blockages to it. That's our default action.
Yeah.
It's become now that way, though. It feels extraordinary, but it's it's our most natural state.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's like coming home. Huh?
Yeah, like a child who is not influenced by everything is present, is very much present. Yeah.
Very much present. Yes. Bilkul. When a child is hungry, it cries. It's very present to that hunger and it cries. There's nothing wrong. But then over time, we teach them, don't cry, because cry is, and then they stop crying. And then it becomes boys don't cry, girls don't, and that all those stereotypes start coming in and they get formed, and then we stop being present.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. So a skill, a competency, a capacity, a capability, a process. Yeah, those define, not a state, not the end state. We understand meditation mostly. The picture we have at it will be very blissful, बहुत आनंदमय state होगा, ये होगा, meditation will be thoughtless, mindless, no thoughts. Those are all state descriptions of meditation. And they seem so, at least to me, it was very hard to say, यार ये है क्या? मतलब what does it even mean to be mindless and thoughtless and no and it was very unreachable. It felt like, bhai, मैं कैसे जाऊं? But as soon as we start breaking it down to a process, a skill that I can learn and I start applying, and what all the gurus and all the leaders and all the yogis, Buddha, everyone, all these religious leaders have said they have found a path to get there. They found a road from Bombay to Delhi and they told us that road. भाई ये practice करो पहुंच जाओ. हमारा ध्यान रहता है was what is there in Delhi or what is there in Goa. But we forget the path. We have to walk that path. We have to learn that skill. And every master, every guru, every yogi, every Buddha has specified the path also. But that is oftentimes not highlighted. We get attracted by that goal and we just sit and imagine that goal. कैसे होगा? गोवा पहुंच जाओगे? बीच मिल जाएगा? नहीं मिलेगा. And कहीं से भी आप जा रहे हो, Goa, if you're going to Goa, there is beach, the beautiful beach, best beaches in the world. Do you think the route to Goa will have beaches all the way? No, na, the rasta will be very, whatever it will be, teda, mera, sida, whatever road you have chosen, it will be that way. So you may not see a beach also on the way, but you have to have that. This is the process. This is somebody has found this path. Let me follow that path and keep applying my skill, applying my process, applying my capacity, whatever it is, and build it, build that skill, build that capacity. It's always, that's our beauty. Our nervous system, again, neuroscience tells it's completely plastic. We can keep changing it. We can modify it. We can build the skill. We can build immense capacity. And if nothing, again, yogis, rishis, buddhas, all these religious leaders have proven that they were just humans who built that capacity. So if they could, we can also. That's the proof. We have that evidence. They have done it. So we can also do it. And abhi bhi kar rahe, there are so many monks which are still doing it. Nothing in the past. There is so much research happening now on Buddhist monks. I think that was so much of a blessing. That's what even Dalai Lama was saying. I think it had predicted after 14 Dalai Lamas, the whole Tibet thing will go away. In that way, it was such a blessing because that was hidden. That knowledge has now come out in the open. It's getting researched with scientific methodologies, and they are finding the same thing. There are people who are doing meditation and fantastic observations they are having with expert meditators of how it changes. Fundamentally, the neural circuitry of our brain is different for expert meditators versus normal people. They have found that the brainwave pattern is different. Gamma oscillations, they call it huge quantities compared to anybody. And when the moment they intentionally meditate, it changes also instantaneously. So those are readings, measured things now. So in some ways, so good that they were pushed out of Tibet so we could all discover this also. Its time had come. That people suffered, that's not good, but at least there's some benefit out of that. But there is a path which is articulated. We can focus on the process, the path, the skill, the competency to get to this place. And daily practice of 20 minutes is hygiene. It's brushing your teeth still. Those are more advanced steps, but that will still keep us going. 20 minutes, as we said, 4 weeks, 2 weeks makes a difference. That's again something they have found. Time and again, it makes a difference. Yes. So we can see that way, meditation as a process, as a skill. Everybody clear? There is a goal, there is that, let's keep that very far, but we'll get there if we follow the process, path. Yes. Yes. Hi, Yamini.
I had a question. Yeah.
Yes.
There were 2 words in the previous slide, compassion and non-attachment. Are you going to talk about those?
A little less today. That I'll tell you where we can get to know more about it.
Okay, sure.
But
thank you.
Good. But maybe very simply, in one line, non-attachment. Okay, so non-attachment can be understood as when we do this practice of meditation, at least in this particular context, non-attachment to the results. What does that mean? That I am doing meditation, I think I'll get to from Bombay to Goa. You will get to Goa, you will get to this end state. But when you will get it, you don't know. But if we get too attached to that result, that this is where I want to get to with meditation, then we start getting impatient about it. We can get, very likely. And then what happens? We don't get there in that much time. Then we feel discouraged and we stop it.
Got it.
So that is what, in simple, non-attachment means. And compassion in this context again means is to be compassionate to yourself. When we sit for meditation, we think, now today Sandeep said, dharana is being one-pointed. Desh bandha chittasya dharana, right? Being one-pointed towards the object. Then you will sit and your mind will wander one day and you will say, Arey, I wasn't good at it. It was a bad meditation. होगा ऐसा? होता है जिन्होंने करा है? हाँ, आज अच्छा meditation नहीं हुआ. हाँ, so those are the moments where you have to be compassionate with yourself. Because you sat for those 20 minutes, that is it. And every time your mind got distracted, you brought it back. That is the process. It's not whether in that duration you were fully concentrated or not. Whether you were able to detect and come back. Be compassionate with yourself that you sat, you're choosing to walk this path. It's not an easy path. The choice to walk this path is something that you should be compassionate to yourself, generate a lot of self-love, saying that, I'm choosing this. This requires courage. And I'm choosing to do this. So that's the compassion for yourself.
Got it.
That's
Thank you.
compassion and non-attachment in this path. So look at it that way during the meditation practice, and slowly it will translate to the remaining 23 hours of the day also.
Mm-hmm.
The
Thank
same
you.
principle. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. I hadn't planned it, but it's good to at least talk about these also. Good. Any other questions? Compassion, non-attachment, broadly okay. Very important things actually, because if we start this practice without it, we'll be unnecessarily maybe stressing ourselves more. And that happens many times. People get so discouraged. I couldn't sit for this much. My mind got distracted. Right? When you sit for meditation, I ask, did your heart stop beating? Has that happened to anyone? Any expert meditator? Does the heart stop beating when you meditate? No, na? I think Madhuri look. No, na? Then why will the mind stop wandering? That is the mind's job. It will wander. That is its nature, na? That is its nature. It will wander. We have to just bring it back, saying, "Nahi, bhai, idhar aa jao. This is where I want you to be." With compassion. It will wander. That's its nature. It's okay. Just bring it back. Whenever it goes, just bring it back. Jahan bhi jayega, वापस ले आओ. Whatever your object is. We'll talk about the object now. Good? Clear? So first thing, daily meditation is mental hygiene. Then second, meditation is a skill. Now, how do we build a skill? How do we build a skill? So everyone has built many skills, right? Cycling, how many know? Driving, many. Swimming. अभी तक जिसने हाथ नहीं उठाया, does he know how to walk, or he or she? Right? So walking is a skill. It's such an amazing skill. Neuroscience. Still today, we haven't been able to make a robot which can walk like a human. Do you know that? Grabbing this bottle is a skill. We haven't been able to make a robot which can grab a cup of coffee accurately, because it will, how much pressure to put. We take these things for granted. Walking, the gait, just standing upright, this against gravity, how much effort it takes. Running, cycling, so many things. We have learned those skills. Now tell me, how did you learn? Anybody? Cycling? You learned it the first time? Whoever learned cycling very easily?
Practice.
Practice.
Try again.
Try again. साइकिलिंग के समय शुरू में किसी ने वो लगाया that those support wheels होते हैं?
वो अब बच्चे लगाते हैं, हम लोग नहीं लगाया।
अब जमाना नहीं।
अब उस जमाने में नहीं था, कोई पकड़ता था साइकिल को पीछे से। किसी ने पकड़ा होगा साइकिल? नहीं, वो गिर के ही सीखा है। चलो, Shawan says by falling many times. Yes. And driving के लिए? Driving also. So practice. It takes time. It takes practice to learn these skills. So any skill, that is the mode, that how we learn. So, but there is now a more sort of generic framework for building competence. So I'll share that so we can become aware of it. So we have to build this competence. Now, this is the 4-step process. It calls, the first is being unconsciously incompetent or unskilled. Means I don't know I am unskilled. So today, I am hoping everyone, at least in this, whoever listening, is out of this. If anything, you know that you are not competent, consciously incompetent. Right? So I know I don't know. I know I am not skilled. You know that. That's the second stage. Then we get to the stage where we have to be consciously competent. Like we have to put conscious effort, practice to become skilled. And the last stage is, once we keep practicing, we reach the stage of being unconsciously competent. And we don't have to put effort. We are in the moment. We are present. We are experiencing the truth of every moment. So cycling, this is the initial stage. When somebody told us, we set our intention that I want to be skilled. I want to build this skill of being present. in the moment. I want to build this skill of knowing the truth or experiencing the truth of this moment, of every moment. That's the first step. So I move from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence. Then I start the journey of conscious from this to this, which is through support. I may need support, right? Training wheels. In driving, we usually had somebody. In my case, it was my elder brother to start with. Then it was a driver who taught me driving. They sat with me, said, "Aise gear change karo, abhi ye karo." Somebody taught, right? Or some instructor taught you. Somebody was there who supported you in that process. And then practice through conscious effort, regular practice. There is no shortcut, regular practice on your own. This is how any skill is built. This is the map for any skill. And if we build this skill, we'll start our journey towards that end state. We'll start our journey towards being present, to build this skill of being present in the moment. Good? Clear this framework? Yeah. So intention, support, effort, conscious effort, and regular practice. These are the 4 steps or what we can do to enable this. So what are the different techniques of meditation? So object of meditation will also come here. So this and many more, right? We have heard so many terms now, right? Of meditation, Zen, Vipassana, Dharana, Samadhi, Transcendental. So some terms hopefully have gotten clear what these technical terms are. But these are so many different kinds of meditation and many more. Transcendental, everyone has heard, I'm sure. So what does it mean? What brings them together? Okay. So this is Andy who is here. So thanks to him also for helping with this, supporting this. And the first step, I think, where they differ is in the intention or the approach on how they are approaching this end state of being fully present. So there are 2 ways I have found. The second is, field of focus. And third is the object of attention. This is where there is difference across these. So in intention, what is the difference? So there is one where we say we build the skill of being present by actually practicing that only, by being in the here and now, every moment. We build this skill by doing this directly. So this is a direct method. The alternate is by an indirect method, which is what? Which is by setting a specific intention and cultivating this presence, being present for that intention. So that intention can be, can I cultivate a specific feeling or emotion? Can I increase concentration, focus? Can I gain insight about myself? So these are different other intentions. So somebody may say compassion meditation, right? We may have heard peace meditation. So there you are actually cultivating this emotion or feeling of peace, compassion. So you are being present to peace and compassion only at that point. But what happens is at that point, there is more than peace and compassion. So we are not being fully present to the here and now, but we are present to that we choose what we want to be present to. In that way, we are building the skill. Now, both of these paths have their pros and cons. The first path, direct path, when you choose to be in the here and now, always, sometimes you feel like you're not making any progress. Kuch ho to nahi raha hai lagta hai. Kyunki usme there is no specific goal. You're just here and now. In the indirect path, you choose a goal. We are so used to, we choose a goal, we'll cultivate peace. So you cultivate peace, you start feeling peaceful at the end of meditation. You like that meditation. You think, meditation was very good. I felt calm at the end of it. But what happens with that is sometimes we get limited to that only. That is the downside of that second indirect path. We think that is only it. That I cultivated peace, that is what meditation is all about. So meditation time is very good. Rest of life is not good. Because there I am not peaceful. So we lose that focus on building this skill. So if we do the indirect path with this intention of that, what I'm trying to do is build this skill of being present. It's not about the object of meditation. There the focus tends to become the object of meditation. In the here and now, the focus stays on the skill of meditation. So you can choose, we'll practice with one only today. You can choose based on, but that clarity has to be there in either. In both, the clarity is needed. When we choose the skill path, the direct path, it will seem sometimes very, very difficult because nothing is happening. You feel like I am there only. कुछ हो तो नहीं रहा है, वही तो हो रहा है. रोज क्या बैठ रहे हो, just observing the breath. That's what we do, anapana, who have attended regular meditation. What is happening? I'm just observing the breath. Nothing is happening. कुछ चल नहीं रहा है, लगता है कुछ हो नहीं रहा है ना. But you are building the skill. Your muscle is building. You are doing this every time you do this. Every time your mind wanders, you bring it back with compassion and non-attitude. You are building the muscle. Every rep is building the muscle. But we don't feel it because it's happening so gradually. It's like the bad example, the frog getting boiled in the water, right? Without it knowing. But it happens so gradually. You're just climbing the mountain very slowly. You don't realize where have you reached till you take stock. But you are going, you're climbing that mountain. In this, it's like walking through the jungle. There are no roadmaps, no marks on it. So you feel, kya chal raha hai yaar, kuch nahi ho raha hai. But in the other, the indirect one, you have very clear milestones. This is happening, then I do this. And we feel more settled in that. There, the important thing to though watch out for is that meditation is about building this skill. So don't get caught up in that object of meditation. No, it is about building that skill. Bring that intention, that object into your daily life also. Bring it into the 23 hours of your life. Don't keep it limited to meditation. As Sita said, then meditation becomes an escape mechanism. भाई वो एक घंटा है, बाकी की लाइफ बेकार है. That's all I. So these are just two fundamentally different approaches to meditation, and that's why you see so much confusion or so much widespread forms of meditation. Definitely one big parameter in how they approach this. Some focus saying abhi se, here and now. Right? Some say pick an object, do that. So very broadly, what I have come to understand, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras actually follows more the indirect path. It talks a lot more about the indirect path. It talks of different stages of samadhi. I think what Manisha was also mentioning, there is first sabij samadhi, then nirbij, then sagun, nirgun. So slowly you are saying first the object, but it says then you have to let go of the object. Nirbij bhi karna hai. But we then get stuck. It says there is a caveat in the Yoga Sutras. Don't get caught up. These are distractions. Don't get caught up in these sabij samadhis. It will feel very good, but don't get caught up. That's a distraction. That's not your ultimate goal. They say that, but it's hard to follow it when we are in it. So, but we have to be very mindful there. And the Buddhist model, though, I think what Buddha also taught in essence, and most schools of Buddhism that I understand, including Zen and others, they focus on this primarily, the first one. They say from beginning, just be in the here and now. Practice being in the here and now, 24 hours. 24 hours practice that. 30 minutes is just net practice, but really it's about more and more. How can I be in the here and now? And then there are different techniques in both of these that differ by the field of focus and the object of attention. So is the first part clear, the difference? How even sometimes the Buddhist and the Indian ones or the Hindu ones are different. Yes, Jignesh.
So Sandeep, you're saying that the direct method is probably better approach to the meditation? No.
I'm not saying so. Both have their caveats, both have their potential risks, and both have their advantages. Whatever path you choose, be aware of that. So in the first path, in the direct path, it is here and now. So you're learning to live the truth, experience the truth. But it may seem like you're not making progress. So you have to be really practice Vairagya in a very deep and be committed to that path in a very different way. Because you're not seeing success. We are used to see success and be motivated by that. So that's the thing to watch out for in the first path. In the second path, what you have to watch out for is not getting stuck in that success cycle. Right? Or thinking that that's what it is. So if you're not, that is also okay. You say, I'll keep moving. Abhi ye station aaya. Right? Bombay se Delhi ja rahe, abhi Vapi aaya, abhi Surat aaya. I'll keep moving. I won't stop at that station and start eating chola bhatura there because that's interesting.
Got it. Very clear.
Yeah. So, but in when we are at the dharana stage, at that time, being in the here and now, I find it very difficult. So, an object always helps me.
Yes.
I find being here and now without an object very difficult.
Yes. Bilkul, bilkul. So choose that. That's why choose the path which is more easy for you. I think this is a very difficult journey. Make it as easy as you can at every stage. But just know what that means. कि अभी object है. It is like वो cycle में wheels लगाते हैं ना, training wheels. It is like that. Eventually, I let it go. Or it's like a crutch when we are learning to walk. It's like that support, but I have to let it go eventually. That's all. Yeah, that makes sense, Deepika?
Yeah, it does. That's why I always somehow a guided meditation works much more for me than being with myself for 30 minutes.
Yeah. No, I understand. That's why now even in our regular meditation, we do guided only.
Okay.
It's hard. We'll do that now. Okay. Yes. So this is clear, the two broad paths. Yeah. Okay. So then the field of focus, that's where a difference is. So some have a very specific and narrow focus, some have a broad focus. So what that means, specific and narrow focus, like Deepika was saying, somebody will say, this is the object, just focus on that object. That's dharana, for example. Broad focus, it happens a lot more in the first kind, the direct path. They will say, just be aware of everything. In fact, it's open-eyed. So there are techniques of open-eyed meditation, walking meditation. So you can meditate while you're walking. There's a technique around that. So you are then fully aware. It's a very broad focus. So walking meditation, you'll be aware of every step, every muscle as it's touching your foot. So you're fully aware. So it's very broad focus. It's saying, how can I be fully aware in this moment, in the here and now, in some ways. And specific narrow focus is one. It could just be Om, for example. It could just be a deity. It could just be your breath. That's narrow focus. In one thing only. It's more attuned with dharana. And the object of meditation, this we'll talk about a little bit. So it can be static or dynamic. And what do I mean by that, static or dynamic? So this is what it means, like the object of meditation, right? Static. So our mind needs two kinds of content, static and dynamic content. So what is static means? Like an image, visual, something which is still. Our mind needs that stillness. And what provides that? Usually those kinds of contents are like an image that is attractive to you. It can represent the object of meditation. It could be the sun, like a static thing, something in nature. It could be something you want to cultivate, like joy, compassion. It could be some concept, right? So this is where meditation on deities, like Hanumanji, Krishna, all that comes in. So you give that static content to the mind. It needs static content, but it also needs dynamic content. Dynamic means it's changing because our mind is changing. So keeping it steady on one static thing is much harder. So initially there is also shabd, sound, right? This is roop, this is shabd. So sound comes in the form of a sound. Dynamic comes in the form of a sound. That's where mantras, specific words, guru mantras, all that come into play. Because it's giving dynamic content to keep the mind engaged. Otherwise, visually it will get constrained, but it will keep going. So you bring it together. So you chant a mantra, or you say some words, or you do say something else, whatever that is, right? And finally, what you try and do with this is fix its location, desh bandha. So where do you fix it? You could fix it anywhere outside, or you could fix it somewhere inside your body. Like that's where these different forms of meditation are, right? Somebody say meditate here, in the tip of your nose, gut of your throat, your heart. These different forms of meditation come. But the principle is the same, that I'm trying to bring my mind to one place, constrain it by providing it some static content, some fixed content, some visual, some sound, dynamic content, and a location. Because otherwise it will waver in location also. So that location can be something in front of me, or it could be inside me. It could be a part of my body. Only when these three things come initially, they allow us to remain concentrated. Or it gives an anchor that when the mind wanders, where do I bring it back to? What is home? What is anchor? Wherever it goes, bring it back to this. Wherever it goes, bring it back to this. Yeah? Clear? And this we can do with both with both styles, here and now, direct style and indirect style. So all the examples above are more indirect style, where we are either projecting, imagining something, we are taking an image, we are taking a sound and trying to give that to the mind. One simple way to actually do the other way, the direct way of being in the here and now and still provide static dynamic content fixed at the location, is through meditating on the inflow and outflow of breath at the nostrils. So breath has this unique characteristic that it can be static and dynamic both. It gives a very clear location where it is. You just keep your attention here. And this is what we will practice also today. This is what we practice. And it's completely neutral. There is obviously no question of any religion in this. It is our breath. The only religion is humanity or life. Breath means we are alive. So the only religion here is life. And it gives us this entire thing. It gives an anchor to the mind. That Desh Bandha Chittasya can happen. And at the same time, it keeps us in the here and now also. So it's a direct path, very clear. So here, the reason I'm sharing all this is you have the freedom to choose what object you want to choose, based on whether you want to follow a direct path or an indirect path. And some suggestions. So you can choose. This is just all examples, illustrative. But whatever you choose, keep these principles in mind, that there has to be something which is fixed, something which is moving, like breath or sound, and a place where it is fixed. That place, the physical Desh Bandha, that physical location also shouldn't move. You can pick anywhere in your body or outside. So this makes sense. This is why you see from this concept of meditation, why there is so much diversity now, and how everyone can invent their own means of meditation. You can also design and invent your own meditation. It's about you learning this skill of being present. So whatever enables you to be present, do that. That is meditation. It doesn't have to be sitting cross-legged, close your eyes. All forms exist. You can be meditative while cooking, while walking, while driving, in traffic, without traffic. Questions, comments, clear? I'm taking a pause. Gopesh, clear? Or you were asking about the object, right? Yes, clearer? Yes.
Thank you.
I have two questions.
Yes,
Sandeep.
yeah.
So the first thing you said that there has to be an image. So in the case of breath, what is the image? Or it's not needed because it's dynamic?
Sorry, say that again.
So
in the breath, what is the image?
Mm-hmm.
So in the breath, you have this location, and the breath itself has that nature. I think it is both static and dynamic. So it is quite unique in that sense. Breath has some.
So whatever we visualize.
Yes.
In our head. Okay. And let's say in the case of a deity or some picture that we are keeping, like you said, we can keep it outside as well.
Yes.
So in that case, are we opening, like, do we keep our eyes open and look at it, or is it like you just imagine that picture in your head?
You can do either. Whatever will help you be fully present with that image.
Okay.
And both forms happen. Both forms are done. That's why I'm saying it can be either. So see the principle. What will enable you to be fully present with that image, with that deity?
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so sometimes what happens when I'm walking on the grass, there are several, those bees and butterflies that I come to see. So sometimes it so happens that I get so engrossed in watching them, in sitting. It becomes like I am, that particular object, which I'm observing. So it becomes like that, because the watching is so intense for me at times.
Yes.
So
and then that is meditation. I think there is a Zen meditation which is like that, which is just being aware fully of what is happening in the minutest of details. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And thank you for relating it with your experiences. I'm sure all of you in some form sometimes have meditated. Just relating it with that, what supports you, and going back to that principle, saying, okay, meditation, I'm trying to build this skill of being present. So whatever practice I am doing right now, is it helping me, serving me towards that, building that skill? And that's how I should do it, so that I can build this skill. That's the purpose of knowing this theory, this background, saying, can I build this skill? Is it helping me build this skill of being present? So even for example, if I'm lighting a diya and I'm honoring a deity. So in that moment, am I doing it like now a mechanical exercise? Am I just saying, if I say the Hanuman Chalisa or if I'm saying some mantra, am I just saying it now mechanically, or am I being present fully to that deity in that moment? Am I with that diya, with that deity in that moment? Because that's the skill. Even Bhakti Yoga wants us to be that way finally. That's yoga, na? Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. We want to get to the same place. So there we start with being present with that deity, with that diya, whatever I'm like, fully there. Whatever I'm chanting, being fully with those words, fully present with that, whatever I'm saying. Then that is meditation. And whatever will enable me to do that.
Sometimes we kind of tend to drift into sleep while trying to do that. Trying to do meditation. So,
and that's okay.
But could it be because tired and?
So yeah, it is the truth of that moment that you're feeling, whatever you're feeling. If that sleep is coming out, sleep is happening, it's okay. As soon as you realize you are asleep or you're feeling sleepy, right? Treat yourself with compassion and non-attachment. Don't think it's bad meditation. This is part of meditation. Come back, bring your mind back to your object of meditation and continue. That is the practice. So we think, if I'm meditation, I'm feeling sleepy. Exactly, that it's not good meditation. ऐसा लग रहा है ना, Sanjeev?
Yeah, well, it's different experience. Sometimes it's good, and it's like I'm not skillful. I occasionally try, so that muscle is probably a lot of work to be done.
Yes,
but just
but this is the muscle. Muscle is of this saying, "Acha, I'm feeling sleepy. Koi baat nahi. Today, I'll still sit up. As soon as I realize it, I'll come back to my object of meditation." It's that awareness that's important. हो क्या रहा है? I'm not talking about neurologically, neuroscience-wise, that sleep is coming because since you know the parasympathetic nervous system gets activated in this meditation. So it is triggering that, and it's okay. We have to just experience that, not give in to it, not go to sleep. Unless it's really strong, you may want to do that, but not go. But as soon as you realize, okay, can I come back to my object of meditation? And if it helps in that moment, open your eyes to come back to the object of your meditation. In our case, come back to breath for it. And don't see this कि अरे मैं सो गया तो गलत हो गया. No. Okay. That was the truth of that moment, and that's okay. Yeah, makes sense, Sanjeev?
Yeah.
Good. So now we will try and then see if there are more experiences for people who haven't tried. So we'll try that. Try meditation, which is the next section. And if there are more questions, I'll obviously stay later on. But let's try this. How to practice meditation? Let's try what we will do. I'll come back to this. So in this, what we are doing is the Anapana practice. It's about this building skill. It has a very specific narrow focus, and it has both the static and dynamic content. So what are the instructions? Are these? Sit comfortably. So I'll give instructions. We can start that. Just sit comfortably wherever you are. If you're on a chair, let your feet be on the ground. If you're on cross-legged, that's good. Let your back be supported. You can gently close your eyes, and I will play the audio. This is what we actually follow also in the daily meditation practice. So that's also one of the reasons I'm sharing here, so people will find it easy to join that. If that's what you want to do. We'll do it for 10 minutes right now. Yeah, not 20. Okay. Just close your eyes and you'll follow the instructions that are coming on the audio.
Now let us practice Anapana for about 10 minutes. Practice Anapana. Sit comfortably, in any posture that suits you. Keep your back and your neck straight. Keep your eyes gently closed. Those who wear spectacles should take off their spectacles during meditation period. Keep your mouth gently closed and focus your entire attention on the area at the entrance of the nostrils. The area at the entrance of the nostrils. And remain aware of every breath coming in, every breath going out. Natural breath, normal breath, as it is. If it is long, it is long. If it is short, it is short. Passing through left nostril. Passing through right nostril. Or through both the nostrils. Just remain aware, do nothing. Just remain aware. Alert, attentive, vigilant. Remain alert, attentive, vigilant. constantly aware of the breath, the incoming breath, the outgoing breath, incoming breath, outgoing breath. Keep your attention steadfastly fixed on this area, the entrance of the nostrils. Like a gatekeeper, like a watchman, aware of every breath entering the nostrils, aware of every breath moving out of the nostrils. Alert, attentive, vigilant. Incoming breath, outgoing breath, natural breath, pure breath, nothing but breath. Bhavatu sabba mangalang, bhavatu sabba mangalang, bhavatu sabba mangalang.
So
Good. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy.
Slowly open your eyes very gently at your own pace and come back to this group. Take your time. Before I share some of details of the practice, would anybody like to describe how their experience was?
It felt shorter than 10 minutes. I didn't realize it was for 10 minutes. The time
Yeah, the
flew faster.
guided part helped me a lot. It because the be like a guard, like a gatekeeper. So that kept helping me come back again and again. So it was a good support for me.
Good. Thank you. Yeah. Now, Deepika, this is what happens in the daily. We play this only for
Yeah.
20 minutes. Now, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Whose mind didn't wander at all? Is there anybody whose mind didn't wander at all? Yes, Pranali.
I felt a bit dizzy.
Dizzy? Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Just acknowledging that. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, that was the truth of that moment. It's okay. So a lot of times neuroscientifically, the healing happens. As I said, the journey won't have beaches along the way. The journey will be all like this, right? So sometimes we'll be sleepy, sometimes we'll be dizzy, sometimes we'll yawn, sometimes we'll cough, we will sneeze. All kinds of processes, biological processes will happen as we allow this being present in the moment, because we are also giving permission to our body to be what it wants to be. So the journey is different in just acknowledging, accepting that. If you whenever you feel that way, you feel like open your eyes. There's nothing you can do that, right? And just be again okay. Just look around. So just take that. You have to be very subjective according to you. So there's no hard and fast rule. Anybody else?
Today I was feeling very sleepy.
Yes.
Yeah, when you were explaining, Sandeep, at that time I was feeling extremely sleepy, which never happens to me. I just couldn't even sit. I lied down, and during meditation, I could hear everything, but I was half.
Very good. I'm glad you lied down. You listen to your body. But that's okay. Sleep is a part of healing. A lot of healing happens in sleeping. That's our parasympathetic nervous system. So at least here in these groups, never feel bad about feeling sleepy or if you lie down. It's welcome. That's part. Just like yawning, coughing, sneezing, farting, crying, tears. All these are welcome.
I suppose, the difference when I join for practices is I usually sit erect and I don't have a support behind. And today I'm sitting on a chair. So I think that really made me feel more relaxed, or maybe it's otherwise I'm more alert to what's happening in me.
Sure.
Though 3 times at least I caught myself dozing. And I said, okay, I'm dozing. Now let's get back.
Yes. Very good. That's the key. You got back. When you catch yourself, that's the important. And maybe your body needs that support, and it's okay to give it that support. It's okay too. Good. Okay. Good. Thank you for sharing. I'll at least share some ways, I think, which was the earlier part. So how to practice, like I think some people were asking particularly on your own, both in terms of what ways we can support. But essentially to practice, these are the 5 P's. I mean, don't Google these 5 P's because I don't think you will find them on Google. This is place. So try and fix a place, a quiet place and time. It's whatever the time is. I think Sanjeev was asking, whatever the time is, the actual time of day doesn't matter. Noticing, yes, right? So when there might be some times where it feels easier, but choose as per your convenience. When you can actually say, I can take these 10, 20, 30, whatever time you want to take out every day, I can do that. That's far more important than what time of day it is. And the reason is simple. Please remember, this practice time of 10, 20, 30 minutes is net practice. The skill you're building to be present in the moment is for the full 24 hours. So it doesn't matter. You have to finally be that way anytime, all the time. So right now, pick whatever is most convenient for you. It's far more important to do it regularly, to do it daily. It's easier when you club it. What neuroscience and research now suggests ki if you have to build a new habit, it's easier to club it with an existing habit, right? Like when you brush your teeth, when you are bathing. So that's why we say after bathing do it, or before it, so that you are wo us flow mein ho jayega. So you don't have to create something separate out of it. When you have your, one can say I'll do it 10 minutes every time before I eat. So morning breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 bar 10 minutes ho gaya. So you club it with something that you're already doing. That increases the chance of you being able to do it regularly. The criteria, the important thing is to do it regularly, not when. Okay? So fix and try and fix the place also. Fix where. Take a spot into your home. This, yes, Deepika said habit stacking. Exactly. Try and fix a place. It's helpful because it will reinforce the place. Also reinforces that habit, the location. Then the second is posture, which I think Sita talked about a little, but it has to be easy, comfortable, still, and slightly alert. So this mix of sthir, sukham, comfort, alert, both are needed. It can't be fully. Avoid at least once a day. Do it where there's slight alertness. And once you can do definitely while you're in bed just before going to sleep. So take it as a place. Also moment to take you to sleep is also okay, but try and do it once at least when you are alert. You can be on a chair, cross-legged, not cross-legged, doesn't matter. Those things are not as important. Yeah. Far more again important to be comfortable, to be at ease, and still be a little alert. That's all. So erect, Deepika, I don't now use that word erect because it's very subjective. So sometimes it's okay to take support if that's what's needed, right? It's more important again to be first as you start the practice to be supported so that you can sit comfortably for those 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you are choosing. Once you've done more asana, etc. practice, you can stay erect, and for them, you can be just sitting on your own and see how that goes. Goenka ji also does say, keep your neck and shoulders straight. So prepare. Now this is important before we get to practice. Prepare means allow yourself to settle in, quieten your mind. And there you can do a few things like pranayam, brahmari. You can chant some mantra, say a few words. Take your time to settle in, to prepare yourself for the practice before you practice. Before we start putting our attention on our breath, take some time to settle down. Maybe you are doing some work, you're just coming, you sat down. So just don't start the practice immediately. It becomes mechanical. Just take a moment, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, how much ever time you need to settle down to prepare yourself for this practice. And then, of course, practice. Practice is paying attention. So in this case, pay attention to the breath. If the mind wanders, bring it back. Bring it back with compassion and non-attachment. I mean, this is where, again, this is important. Compassion for yourself and non-attachment to the result. Like Sita did. I caught myself dozing, I came back. No issues. That's part of the process. Whatever is happening, just come back to your breath in this case. Or if you've chosen a different object, do that. And after you've done that practice 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever that you're doing, then pack up. This is also equally important. The last one, practice doesn't just get over. Take your time, gently come out. As I said, just slowly open your eyes, become aware of your body, your breath, your smells, sounds, then light, right? So all the stimulus that is there around you, slowly open yourself up to it. Don't let them rush in. Don't get up. Just take your time. So keep some time for that also. Maybe a minute, 2, 5, whatever. Yes? Clear? The 5 P's? Any questions, comments on that? So the way we practice now, we practice it 3 times a day, 6 a.m., 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. India time. These are all 3 India times. It's a 30-minute practice. We spend first 5 minutes is this, place, posture, prepare. So nothing is playing. It's for you to come, settle down, take your time, find your posture, get to your place, settle down. Aram se, right? Just breathing. Sometimes do some mantra. I do. So morning, I'm doing now Gayatri mantra. I do Gayatri mantra before it. I do my Hanuman Chalisa before it to allow me to settle down, for example. And then I start the practice for 20 minutes. So 20 minutes we do the practice, which is this same Anapana, keeping our attention on the breath. And then 5 minutes last is pack up. So give yourself the time. So the practice will end at whatever 6:25, 7:25, 9:25. And then 5 minutes is for you to slowly take your time, come out slowly, gently, and log out at your own pace. Yeah. So that's broadly the practice on how you do it. Any questions on this? I know Sanjeev, others were asking on how to practice now.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
I had one other question.
Yes.
Since you mentioned mantra. Is it also fine, like instead of breath, let's say you chant Gayatri mantra 5 times, 10 times, whatever time you think is.
Yes. So your object of meditation can be the Gayatri mantra, for example. So the only suggestion is don't mix it with this. So don't mix techniques in that moment. So like before you start this, that's okay. But during this, if you're playing this audio and doing this, don't do the Gayatri then. Right? So this audio has its own thing. So just then follow this. But before you can do as a preparatory thing, after you can do, that's okay.
How to fix the time actually? जैसे शुरू में just to start I was thinking 10 minutes आपने बोला.
Yes.
Now how do उसके कोई घड़ी में वो लगाते हैं या मोबाइल में कुछ?
ये ऑडियो दीपक जी 10 मिनट का है. So you just play this on your mobile and follow the instructions जो अभी हमने करा. तो 10 मिनट में एंड में वो बोलते हैं ना भवतु सव्व मंगलम 3 बार. That means सबका भला हो. That's what he's saying in Pali. So that ends with that. So you also say sadhu. You say at the end sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That means ये सच हो, साध हो, सबका मंगल हो. So you agree with it.
तो वो कहाँ पर है that video? मतलब
This is the audio. I'll send the audio file on the group.
अच्छा.
You can download it.
ठीक है. मतलब वो that is exclusive. शुरू में जो settling down जो आपने बोला, place उसके बाद.
Yes, उसके बाद है ये.
Okay, समझ गया. फिर पैकअप भी उसके बाद.
उसके बाद ये 10 मिनट सिर्फ इस प्रैक्टिस का.
हाँ, तो आई थिंक शुरू में वही करें, फिर अपने हिसाब से टाइम चूज कर लें. वही.
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. व्हाट टाइम ऑफ डे जो आपको कन्वीनियंट है.
Convenient.
यू कैन डू इट 2-3 टाइम्स 10 मिनट्स वाला तो दिन में भी कभी भी कर सकते हैं. बहुत इजी है. 10 मिनट्स के 3 बार 2 बार करेंगे तो मच बेटर.
अच्छा, हाँ वो बेटर है. यस, ठीक है.
एंड यू कैन ऑलवेज ज्वाइन द सेशंस जो है उधर भी आ सकते हैं.
हाँ, वही टाइमिंग का जरा सा वो हो जाता है.
वो मैच नहीं हो तो अपने साथ करिए. आई विल
अपने
सेंड
हिसाब
द
से कर लेंगे. बट हाँ, ये ऑडियो चला देंगे जिससे टाइम का पता लगे. बहुत से लोग शायद मोबाइल में अपना एक बजर लगा देते हैं, वो ठीक नहीं है.
हाँ, वो भी कर सकते हैं, वो भी कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको गाइडेड नहीं चाहिए, खुद से करना है पूरा, नाउ यू आर क्लियर, सो देन यू कैन डू दैट आल्सो. मोबाइल पे 10 मिनट्स का अलार्म लगा दीजिए, दैट्स ऑल्सो.
ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Anything else on this? Practice is clear. Now what? So remember this again, just before we wrap up, that meditation is about building this skill to experience the truth of every moment, to be present with compassion and non-attachment. It is a process, it is a skill, it grows gradually. This is the destination, but the journey is much more like this. So be aware of that. If nothing, that's one message. So remember, daily practice is important of meditation. Remember where we started, why daily is important, what will we get by daily. It's about mental hygiene, just like brushing our teeth. So please, sincere request, do that for your own well-being. And that it's a skill. So it's a skill, it takes time to build. Give yourself the time and practice to build it. Regular practice is what will build it. How we can support in these phases as you are learning, there is a workshop coming up which Andy facilitates. It's starting on December 4 to 17. This is 14 days, continuous, 1 hour every day. So their actual meditation happens. Theory is very less. And you get to share, discuss, ask more questions. And Andy facilitates it beautifully. So this helps you get into that practice. 14 days to aap karoge, being part of this workshop. And then it becomes more like a habit, just like brushing. You will feel odd if you don't do it. Like, and some of you have done it. So you know how that is. Then there is a workshop on neuroscience and I also, which takes us through a little bit of the neuroscience in general and how it possibly impacts. So you will know the how meditation works. Practice may not happen as much. That's more theory. It's weekend workshops, 5 sessions starting November 18th. And most importantly, these daily 30-minute meditation sessions, which are at 6 a.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m. I think people are part of the group. Who are not, I'll change the chat. I'll share the chat group in the message again. So this is broadly the structure: 5 minutes of place, posture, prepare, 20 minutes of practice, 5 minutes of backup. And it's a guided practice now. So yeah, but I think it wasn't earlier. Maybe it didn't become clear. So hopefully, if Deepika, that was one reason you stopped. Maybe you can restart with this also. It is this audio only. Goenkaji's audio is what we played right now. Just 20 minutes. Okay. Nothing else. We can close. I'll be there since we are at quite way past time. So thank you for staying back. If others have questions, I'll be here. But we'll close with the prayer. So sit comfortably and gently close your eyes and repeat after me. Slowly bring your attention to your breath for a couple of rounds. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Thank you,
very
everyone.
much.
Thanks, Sandeep. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
As
Bye.
always, very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Sandeep.
So much.
Thank you. And Sandy.
Thank you. Very good session for getting us back to meditation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pranali. How are you? Good?